Alright then guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Now let's talk about Agit Kabayel, the real boogeyman of the heavyweight division. Now Kabayel's last few fights have been nothing but incredible. Like, he's been absolutely immense. And I think, you see, when we've been talking about Martin Bakole being the boogeyman and everyone's, avoiding Martin Bakole, which is true. But I just feel like Agit Kabayel is legit. Like, people need to start putting respect on Agit Kabayel's name. If you guys will remember, before the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz fight at Madison Square Garden, there was rumors that Anthony Joshua was knocked out in sparring. And those rumors was that Agit Kabayel had knocked Anthony Joshua out in sparring. Now, these are all rumors. We know that what happens in sparring most of the time when you hear about it is true, because nobody comes out to deny it. So look, Kabayel has been making a name for himself, of course, in the gym and in the ring as well. And if you look at his box rec, I mean, he's 32 years old. He's currently 26-0, 18 knockouts in those 26 fights. If you actually look at his box rec, right, it's really interesting because he actually beat Derek Chisora in November 2017, and that was for the EBU European title, right, in Monte Carlo. That was really interesting. And if you don't think about that, that is a very good win, because Derek Chisora, although he's had a number of losses, Chisora has actually gone on to have some really good fights recently. For example, he beat Otto Wallen just a few weeks ago, and that was really interesting, right? So that win has aged very well, and I didn't realize that Kabayel had Chisora on his record, because as I said, his name has started to come to the forefront in the last few fights. But if you go all the way down into box rec, you can see that he beat Chisora. And in 2017, Chisora wasn't a bad fighter. Sorry, he wasn't, right? Chisora was a bit in his pump, good fighter. So that is a very good win that has aged very, very well. But I think where Agit Kabayel, started making a name for himself is when, Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudi, investment came into boxing, and where fighters have to fight each other, right? There's no hiding place anymore for heavyweight boxers and all fighters, actually, because you have to fight each other. And that is when Agit Kabayel, has risen to the top. And if you look at it, right, the fight that made people look at Agit Kabayel and go, this guy is legit, myself included, and a lot of people that I've spoken to, when he beat Aslanbek Makhmudov, that is when everyone thought, oh my god, this guy is legit, right? And in that fight, and that was in December 2023, in that fight, I actually picked Makhmudov to beat Kabayel, because I thought Makhmudov would be too big, too strong for Kabayel. But one thing about Kabayel that I've noticed is that he knows himself very, very well. Like, Kabayel actually knows who he is, guys. And the reason why I say he knows who he is because he knows that he's not a big heavyweight. Now, I say he's not a big heavyweight. I mean, can you imagine what the heavyweight division has become? These guys are so big that guys that are 6'2", 6'3", now we're saying not big heavyweight, because Muhammad Ali was 6'3", George Foreman around the same height, Ernie Shavers is around the same height, you look at Larry Holmes around the same height. And these were big heavyweights back in the days when we used to talk about heavyweights. These were massive guys, and now we're saying they are, average heavyweights in this division. So it's absolutely crazy. But Aslanbek Makhmudov was a heavy favorite going into that Agit Kabayel fight. Like, I didn't know a lot of people that picked Kabayel to beat Makhmudov, and he actually destroyed Makhmudov. And the reason why I say Kabayel knows himself is because he knows that he's on the smaller heavyweight size, and he knows that he needs to work the body. You see, in boxing, people talk about once you work the body, you can slow the legs down and take the wind out of fighters. And Kabayel knows exactly who he is. And that's what makes him so dangerous, because he knows that he's going to put the pressure on, he's going to work the body, he's going to come to the head sometimes, not too much, but he's going to work the body in the early rounds. And at some point, a fighter is going to break down. At some point, the wind is going to, at some point, the legs are going to give up. And that's when Kabayel becomes success. And he did that with Makhmudov. And so he showed that that was the game plan that really works for him. And that was really interesting to see. And I was really surprised that he was able to absolutely destroy Makhmudov to the body and stop him with a body shot. And that was great. And then he went on to fight Frank Sanchez. Now, in May 2024. Now, Frank Sanchez had also been a fighter that a lot of people had talked about, right? He's Cuban, good pedigree. People in the US have been talking about him for some time, that he's the guy to beat. Frank Sanchez actually called Anthony Joshua out, right? He was making a name for himself. And in that fight, once again, it was a 50-50 fight, I thought, because after Kabayel beating Makhmudov, I thought, you know what, this guy has got something within him, and he's going to actually, be competitive in this fight. Now, that fight was not competitive. It was a one-sided beatdown from Agit Kabayel. Like, he really absolutely demolished Frank Sanchez. Like, Kabayel, once again, the body work is just incredible. The pressure, the jab, the ability to fight in the pocket. And that's something that heavyweights don't do really well in terms of, going to the body, because everyone's headhunting, right? Heavyweights love to headhunt. They love to, knock people out and not really work the body. And Kabayel, once again, he knows who he is. And he worked the body, he worked Frank Sanchez's body and broke him down and stopped him in a fight. And that is when the world in boxing. Now, you guys can get in the comment section and let me know if you knew about Agit Kabayel before the Frank Sanchez and Makhmudov fight, or if you were watching him closely. Let me know in the comment section below. And I think that is where people started taking him really seriously. That is where people thought, oh my God, this guy is legit. This guy is insane after the Frank Sanchez fight. And then, of course, recently, he absolutely demolished Zhilei Zhang. Now, Zhilei Zhang went into this fight as a favorite. And that is from a lot of people in boxing. In this fight, I picked Kabayel to really stop Zhilei Zhang. But I picked Kabayel to do it late. I wasn't expecting Kabayel to actually stop Zhilei Zhang early. And that's exactly what he did. But in that Zhilei Zhang fight, what really impressed me about Kabayel is in the first two rounds, he realized that Zhilei Zhang was actually, old, right? Zhilei Zhang is old. But he realized that he needed to change his game plan, because in the first two rounds, Zhilei Zhang was touching him with the jab and then basically, throwing the 1-2. He's a southpaw, he's crafty, Zhilei Zhang, and he's powerful. And Agit Kabayel realized, I cannot, hang with this guy if he's putting the pressure on me and really pushing me back. So he went back to his corner, and after the second round, he actually came into the fight and started putting the pressure on Zhilei Zhang. He started staying in the pocket. He started working the body, and he started, really breaking Zhilei Zhang down. That was super impressive, because if you're staying in the pocket with punches, you have a lot of opportunity, because punches need to have some space to be able to get their back foot, to generate the power from their back foot to be able to land that shot. So Kabayel's game plan of really staying in the pocket, staying very close to Zhilei Zhang, staying on his chest and working the body, prevented Zhilei Zhang from winding up on his shots and really throwing that left hander. We know that he can throw the bomb, and he basically just destroyed him. Like, he destroyed Zhilei Zhang. And I think Agit Kabayel, as I've said, is the real Boogey-Man in the heavyweight division. And Joseph Parker now needs a dance partner. I think that would be a great fight. Like, Kabayel versus Joseph Parker would be a great fight. Or Bakoli versus Efe Ajagba. Whoever wins that fight would also be a great fight for Kabayel. And I think if he is able to win his next fight, a big fight, good opponent, then he's definitely up there for a world title shot, because I think his run in the past few fights has been nothing short of incredible and amazing. So look, for me, Agit Kabayel is the real boogeyman of the heavyweight division. Get in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think about it. What do you think about Kabayel? What do you think about his journey so far and the fights that he's had? He's German, so if he keeps having these fights, I'm sure he's gonna get a lot of people behind him, especially from the German part of the world, and of course I think he's Kurdish or something, so he's definitely going to garner a lot of support from his home country and his ethnicity as well. So I think all props to him, all credit to Kabayel. I think he's doing great, and I would love to hear what you guys think about him. As always, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments in the section below. I'll see you guys on the next one.